Since y'all are asking for a little more backstory on my child's father, here it is. I already posted a video about my relationship with this person like 2 weeks ago, but it didn't get any traction at all. So I think it got like 400 views. So thank you guys for spreading it and boosting it. This needs to be out there. Like I said before, I met this man when I was 16. He was not married at the time. I don't want people thinking that, I was involved with a married man. I was not. Any case, I was still a child. He pretty much groomed me. In my mind, I thought we were in a relationship or whatever. He pretty much groomed me. I met him at this church on the north side of Houston in 5th Ward called Apostolic Tabernacle. And no surprise there, years later after I left the church ended up splitting because the actual pastor of the church was caught sleeping with one of the congregants' wives. So this runs deep, and it was definitely covered up. People in the church, adults in the church knew about Ryan and my relationship. No one said anything. My parents were very checked out of my life. They weren't involved at all. I was literally a wayward child trying to find, meaning or whatever. I went to church thinking that, this would be a good place for me to be. It's not, getting in any trouble or anything like that. I was wrong. The fact that I was going alone and this person saw that, that gave him access to me. Fast forward to he gets me pregnant. I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was like 12 weeks. I found out with him. I took 2 pregnancy tests. Both of them came up positive. His whole demeanor after that really changed. All of a sudden, he pretty much ghosted me after I found out I was pregnant. He came to my very first ultrasound, and then after that, he stopped answering the phone. Since I lived at the time, I was in Fort Bend County, and he was all the way in the Woodlands. And this man would drive all the way from the Woodlands, all the way to Fort Bend to pick me up and to, basically be with the child. And this is all legal. And if anyone who lives in the Houston area, you know how far of a drive. The Woodlands, far north, all the way to Fort Bend County, which is damn near by Galveston. This man used to drive and see me. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant. He immediately started accusing me of sleeping with someone else and saying it wasn't his kid. And then he ghosted me. So I had my kid, and at the time I was before all this shit happened, I found out I was pregnant the summer going into my senior year. So I was pregnant my entire senior year of high school. And my plans prior to getting pregnant was to join the military. I was already signed up for the delayed entry program. So that was my plan when I graduated high school. I did still go to the military. I went to the Army. I had a cousin, and thank God for her, who was my family care plan, who took care of my son while I was in basic training, while I went to Iraq. All those things, I had someone who took care of my son during that time. And then when I came back and I got out of the military and I went back home to Texas, that's when I pursued him for child support. By that time, he was married to this woman here, Holly Gruy. I had reached out to her personally. She was very, very, very disgusting. She claims that she had known about me the whole time, and that, at any moment they were expecting for me to drop a baby in his lap and all this other nonsense. They pretty much said, or she pretty much said, that they wanted nothing to do with me, but if I wanted to sign over the rights to my child, then they would take my child as long as I gave up all parental responsibility. And obviously I didn't do that. So, they pretty much just, blocked me on everything. He got a $200 child support order. He hides his money. He hides his assets. Like, look at this man. This man right here is supposed to be broke, supposed to be indigent, destitute. He pays $200 in child support. So he's saying that he makes below minimum wage, basically, which is a lie. But these are the laws here in Texas. And like I said, I wanted to share my story because with the laws changing the way that they are, and with teenagers literally being targeted because they want teen pregnancies, they want us to be pregnant. They want our children to be pregnant, basically. They want us to be out here destitute like I was. I suffered through homelessness. I was a teen mom. I didn't have any resources. No one helped me. I had to struggle to get anything. Still struggling today. My son is 17. He's almost grown. He's about to go to college. It's been extremely hard just trying to, keep him on the right path, investing money into him to make sure that his education is right, things like that. And to make sure that I can break this cycle so that I don't continue a cycle of poverty. It's been extremely hard, but, I believe that I've done it. I'm doing it with zero help from this person or these people. Like I said before, the numbers don't lie. I was definitely 17 when I was pregnant. Was pregnant my entire senior year of high school. Anybody who went to high school with me knows that. But since we are in the state of Texas, the age of consent in Texas is 17. And when we went to court, this man pretty much made himself the victim and made it seem like I was preying on him. And they went for it. I was a scary black woman. I was preying on this man, and he was just this, Christian man, and I pulled him astray. It was wild. I couldn't even believe that they even allowed this type of testimony to even go into the court when it's just obvious. It's just, you just do the numbers. You just add up my birthday, my age, his age, my son's age. It's all there. But yeah, state of Texas is legal. You can legally date children in this state. And there are sickos out here who literally date between the lines just like that because they know they can date as young as 17 without getting in any trouble. And they do. And he did. And I have a child to prove that. I appreciate y'all liking and sharing my story. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for boosting it. I haven't had the funds to keep taking this man to court, which is why I've, haven't really pursued it. And now I've finally decided I'm going to just, tell my story. I've been threatened already on this app by someone that these people know that they're going to sue me or whatever. I've already been threatened. They've been threatening me for years or whatever. I'm telling my story. They can sue me all they want. I ain't got shit. He made sure that I was destitute, that I was a broke, struggling teenage mother. I don't have a motherfucking thing. They can sue all they want. As long as y'all know, as long as the public knows who these people are, who is in your community, as long as y'all know. This is Ryan Gruy. This is Holly Gruy. These are some sick-ass individuals. Keep them away from your kids. He has a business out there in the Woodlands. He does work around children a lot. He gets in lots of churches. He's like a film person or whatever, videographer or whatever. Keep this fucking man away from your kids, period.